Hello and welcome to the world of Odium. This is episode 23. Today we're just going to do a little bit of work around the outside of our lighthouse here, and we're just going to kind of, give it a little bit of landscaping. We're going to put some plants in around the outside, just kind of make it look a little more than just a lighthouse stuck out in the middle of nowhere. Now I did a little bit of work off camera. One of the things I had to do is I had to bring this back by one block. It was out too far. So you can see now it's kind of correct on the inside. We've got our logbook here. And then another thing I did was I kind of went in and I textured the walls a bit. So in the white areas I used concrete powder as well as some bone blocks. I didn't go too crazy with it, just wanted a little bit of texture. And then for the black areas, we're using concrete powder and coal blocks. So I took that all the way to the top, so it just gives it a little bit of extra texture. Alright. Another thing I did here was our goodie box for our trick-or-treaters. We had cookies in there, and well, looks like a couple people ate them. But I put a couple of other things in here. I had some melon, because our melon farm went crazy, and we had, about 1 million pieces of melon that I had to build into melon blocks and get cleaned up. But I grabbed some spider eyes and named them the Eye of Newt, and I found some beetroots, which are going to be human hearts. So, they can get those things if they want. So it looks like we got daybreak upon us, which is good. I want to run over here real quick though. Let's run to the cemetery that Wallace has been working on. And if you guys aren't watching his videos, please do. He's doing such an incredible job with this. And of course it's got to rain. But this is the cemetery that he's built, and you'll notice over here something. Looks like we've got a fresh grave, and it says, "Here lies the great conqueress Iceland Queen." We have a new member on Odium, Iceland Queen. Please check out her channel. She has some very interesting content, and we're excited to have her here with us. And see what she can do here in the world of Odium as well. Her link will be in the description below as well, so please check her out, as well as all the other members of Odium. A few other things that have happened since the last recording. We have StinaRose has built a farmhouse here. Absolutely incredible looking. Please check out her video as well so you can see everything that's there. And a wandering nerd has finished the exterior of our portal. Take a look at that. That is just absolutely incredible, and just the inside is great. He is working on the other side, and I don't want to show anything there, but until he is absolutely completed with it. But he's got a lot of great stuff that he's doing with the nether portal in the nether side as well. So check out his video, the first part of that released today. Over on this side, we got a couple of things sprouting up. This is something's being done by Copper Cable. So I haven't watched his stream, so I don't know exactly what he's doing. And then this white thing off here, let me see if I can zoom in on it a bit. That is being built by BrownieBits. So check out their channels. And see what they've got going on here as well. I don't know if anybody else has started anything new. Let's see, I don't know if probably can't sleep this storm away, but let me try. Ooh, that was close. Alright. There we go. At least for now, it'll probably start up again because that's just kind of the way it works. So, my idea here is I want to take this side of the area where the lighthouse is sitting, and I want to replace all this mycelium here with stone. And we're going to kind of make this kind of like a kind of a treacherous cliffside that the ships would have to be careful around so that they don't crash into it. So I've got a bunch of different stones over here in one of these boxes. It's not that one. Okay, so we've got a bunch of regular smooth stone here. We're going to start off with that. Let me just go ahead and grab a whole bunch of it. Let me leave a little bit behind because I'm going to have to make some room for the dirt it'll be when we dig it up. Alright, so if we come over here, now it's not going to be like all of it. It's probably going to have to be just kind of like this part here, and then it'll trail off here and back into the mycelium / dirt area. Now I've got to be careful too that I don't go into the ocean too much, because it will change biomes and then we can have mobs spawning. For example, there was an area here where there was just some grass that was growing, and I thought it was kind of odd that there was grass and not mycelium, and I checked and it was actually ocean biome, which meant that mobs could have spawned on there. So I went in and dug the grass up, since mobs can't spawn in the water. And we do have this issue over by the portal area. Over there, there's like a kind of a huge grassy area that is an actual different biome than the mushroom biome. So I know that Stina and Nerd were having a lot of issues while they were doing their buildings simultaneously there, because they were leaving it constantly loaded and mobs were spawning and terrorizing them while they're trying to do their work. So let's start here. We're going to kind of, I'm going to just come along here, and I just kind of want to knock out some of this mycelium like this. I'm not going to worry too much about anything else there at the moment. Alright, let's pick up that dirt. And then we're going to come back in here. Let me go ahead and get the dirt up here too so I can fill in some of these holes. Like that. Like that. Go, and then let's fill this back in with the smooth stone. And then we're going to come back a little bit, and we're going to kind of rough it up with some like cobblestone and andesite, stuff like that, just to kind of make it look a little more natural, kind of like what we did with the custom stones that we built in Talonwood. Alright, so we got that. Let me just come back over here, and we're going to knock out another layer and see how we're doing here. And this shovel is just kind of OP, so it does it pretty fast. Alright, fill some of this back in. Like that. Okay, now let me go ahead and I'm going to continue doing this all the way down to the water's edge. I'm probably not going to go into the water and do any of this just because I think it's kind of unnecessary in some respects. I mean, yeah, it would look a little better, but we're not really looking down into the water too much anyways, so I think we'll be okay. So let me work on this and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I went ahead and I put in all the smooth stone all the way around the edge here. Missed a few, it looks like, in here. Let me go ahead and fix that real quick. Just kind of trying to fill the area in. I followed the outline of the land just so that it kind of stays the same. So next thing we want to do is we're going to kind of want to rough some of this up a bit. Now I've got some of this ugly moss stone that we've seen so much of in Talonwood, but I think it'll work fine here because you would think that, you know, with all this water bashing against these rocks that, yeah, they're going to get a little slimy, you know, from algae and whatnot that's in the ocean. So let's go ahead and let me knock out a couple pieces here and there. And it doesn't necessarily have to be right at the water's edge either. We just kind of want to break this up a little bit, give it a little bit of color. I don't want to use too much because I think this stuff is kind of overpowering, especially the way it's just kind of is in the mega taigas like Talonwood. It was just those big huge green blobs. I just thought they were awful, but luckily we were able to tear those out. Some of them still are there, but you know, that is how they wanted their areas to be, so that's fine. Just I think they're ugly, and that's why I removed them when I was working on the hot springs area there. So a couple here and there. Let's go ahead and get one here and here. These might be dangerous, slippery areas because they're covered with the slimy algae on the rocks. If you've ever cleaned an aquarium, you know what I'm talking about. With your glass and everything in it just kind of gets all this nasty, green, slimy stuff on it, and that's kind of what we're replicating here. Put a couple more there. Maybe this one here. Let me see. Here. Let's see. Maybe there. Looks better with a pick. Okay. Alright, so I think that's good there. Now I've got some regular cobblestone, but I want to do, let me see, come over here. Now I forgot to bring andesite over, so we don't have any of that to work with, unfortunately. But we do have plenty of cobble. So let me go ahead and make some cobblestone stairs and slabs. Alright, now let's see if we can place some of this around just to see if we can kind of change some of the shape and texture here of our landscape. Slap down some slabs. here and there. Kind of like this. Let's see. There. Here. That. Okay, let's try some of the stairs now, working some of these in. Same kind of thing, we'll just kind of put it here. Like that. Maybe we'll dig this out like this. Dig that out. Let me put a block here. Doesn't help if it's upside down, doesn't make a difference. That. Kind of got holes in it. Put one here. Here. Kind of dot these around the place. Try to make it look a little different. Let's go put one here. Same kind of thing here. Maybe we'll do something weird and make this upside down there. Yeah, put a slab here. Just kind of make it look like there's a hole there. Put some regular cobblestone around. Just to kind of rough things up as well. Alright, I'm going to run back to the village, get us some andesite, and I will be right back. Okay. I grabbed us some andesite, and I also grabbed some gravel. We're going to work some of that in here as well. Oh, and I can't wait for you guys to see what Nerd has been doing with that nether portal on the nether side. It is looking fantastic, I can tell you that much. Let me go ahead and start with some gravel here. Put it here and there. That. Alright, let's get some more going up here. I kind of like just using one material at a time doing this instead of switching back and forth between bunches of different things. That's just how I do it and how I prefer. It doesn't make it right or wrong. But it just, to me, it just makes a little more sense for me to concentrate on one piece at a time instead of trying to design an entire area all at once and kind of gets a little messy if you do it that way. At least for me it does. Okay, let's see, maybe some gravel in here. There probably should be some gravel down here since there's lots of gravel in the ocean. Let's do a bit here as well. Okay, I think that's good. We can always add more if we need to. Let me go ahead and put some of this gravel aside. And let me grab my andesite. Now we're probably not going to use that much. But let's see what we can do here. Just kind of come through and poke one there. See how that's, yeah, it's going to be good. Like that, maybe here. Some down here. Here. There, let's put one here. And to me, a little goes a long ways too. It's kind of the same like this. So I didn't have big, huge patches of different textures because I think you can. There comes a point where it looks good, and then where it just gets too noisy. And to me, too much is worse than not enough. So you can always add more. I mean, you can always take away as well, but to me, it just makes more sense to add it when you need it and just don't go overboard. So let's a little bit here and here, and I think we're pretty good on this one. Good. Yeah, like that. Alright, now I have a bunch of mushrooms too that we dug up from here to begin with, so let's go ahead and put some of those back down. Let's see, I got a whole bunch of them here. So we can plant the mushrooms back, be eco-friendly here, and guess you can't. You grow on cobblestone? No? Okay, they're not going to let us plant them on stone. I think you can plant them on stone if it's dark, but if they want to, they will work their way over here. And I mean, if you look inside here, just for the heck of it, let's come back in here. See there's a mushroom growing here? I didn't plant that. So you can plant them on stone, it's just it probably has to be dark enough, and we're not dark enough out there to do that. Where with the mycelium, it'll just grow. So, okay, we got that. Alright, let me put away some of these stones, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so next thing I want to do is I kind of want to do a little bit of work with some greenery around here. So in our palette, we're using the birch leaves because they're not horribly green in this area here. A lot of times the biome changes the color of the leaves. So I've got some birch leaves, I've got some vines, I've got a few cobwebs. So let's kind of come over here, and I'm thinking, you know, we can do something here. And let me grab some dirt too while I'm at it, because I might dig some of this up. Although it'll probably just turn back into mycelium. So now let's just skip that. That's the problem with this stuff. It just grows so fast, and it grows all over the place, and it can be kind of crazy. And we're just going to kind of work our way up here. We're just going to kind of put vines and shrubs all over the side of the building. Try to add a little bit of depth. I do need that dirt though for pillaring. Alright, let me go bring it back. Alright, So, come on. There we go. And we're just going to kind of pillar up here onto the roof. And I kind of want some of these blocks, like, you know, they're kind of crawling their way down the side of the building. Like that. Maybe a little bit more. We'll expand out a bit this way. Here. Maybe it'll just hang there. Yeah, I think that's good. While we're at it, let's go ahead and see if we can get a few vines going as well. Swap out my ender pearl with some vines. And we'll just kind of slap those there. They'll grow some more on their own, so make it look a little overgrown. Let me go ahead and knock my dirt pillar back down. Alright, let's go sleep real quick. Not that I need to, it just makes it a little bit easier when we got some daylight out to see. Alright. Got some plant life here. Let's see, maybe come under here and do something like this. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Come on, let's see if we can put some vines up here as well. Put another shrubbery here. Something like that might be good. Come out a little bit. Yeah. Let me take a step back real quick and take a look at that. Not too bad. That there. Now I would like to, I'll wait until we're ready to start putting in paths to everything before I really do anything here, because I'm not 100% certain on the design for the paths. I know that Stina, let's come over here and take a look real quick at the farmhouse. And we're probably going to do something similar to her path here, since she kind of replicated what Wallace was doing in the cemetery, with the mixture of gravel, coarse dirt, path blocks, mushroom blocks, to kind of give a rustic feel to the path. But I'll kind of wait on that until we're ready, because I don't know what all everyone else has got planned. There's probably going to be something, you know, in these areas here. It's just kind of a big open space. So until we know what everybody else is going to be doing, I don't want to build any paths just yet. But let's go ahead and go around the side of the building. We can put in a little bit more shrubbery here. Maybe throw some more vines up on the side of the building. Like that. Let them grow out and do their thing. I'm not too worried about it. Like that. Maybe we'll have some that extend down here into our rocky outcropping. Like this. There might be some, yeah. Let's just see what we can do. And again, I'm not going to light any of this up because that would kind of defeat the purpose of what we've got planned here. We want to make this kind of look spooky. So we've got to kind of keep things looking dark and sinister. So got a little bit more here. See another line, maybe there and there. Let those do their thing. Maybe making its way down here to the ocean. Like that. It's not too bad. I think I need to do a little bit more with that, though. Yeah. Alright, let me see. I think we need a little bit of vinage over here. Let's put some vines here and here. Like that. And again, I'm not too worried when they grow. They're going to grow and do their own thing, and that's fine with me. Let's let it kind of look a little organic when it does its thing. Alright, got a couple of leaf blocks left. Let's see, where would these look at? There. And right there. There we go. All right, let's take a look again. Not too bad. I think, let me go ahead and I'm going to put a few more vines up along the side of the building, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I think pretty much all the vines in place that I want to deal with. Let me do this real quick. I was just thinking about this. I want to grab some of this gravel, a stack of dirt. Let me go ahead and put this dirt away. I'm going to make some coarse dirt real quick, and I think, no, yeah, it's going to be like this. Crafting recipe is a little different if you're on the Bedrock engine version. You just need to put one of each in there and it'll make them, but in the Java edition you've got to put them in that pattern in order to craft coarse dirt. So what I want to do is I just want to work a little bit of it into here, because there wouldn't necessarily be one gigantic huge rock per se. There would be holes in it where, you know, the wind is and the sea has torn up the surface of the rock and has, you know, filled it with dirt or whatever. So let's go ahead and do some in here, and I don't want too much. Again, a little goes a long ways. Otherwise it's just going to be, you know, one big pile of dirt, and we don't want that. We just kind of want something that's going to give a little bit of color and a little bit of detail to our build. A little bit here, a little bit there. Maybe another one here. That. Here. And we're using coarse dirt because, again, if I put regular dirt in there, that would become mycelium, and we don't want that. We want it to have a dirt texture, not mycelium. So I think that should pretty much do it. Let me maybe put one in here, right there, like that. Just a little bit, to add a little bit of color and texture to it. So let me move back to the front of the building here. That is my idea anyways, of a little bit of foliage and adding some landscaping to the area. It's kind of hard to do, and you know, you got this ugly purple grass looking stuff everywhere, and there's only so much you can do. I mean, you could plant grass, but it might get taken over by the mycelium, and it's just a battle with this stuff. So unless you got a weird way of blocking it off from spreading in those areas, you just kind of got to deal with it and work around the situation. Anyways, that's it for this episode. So until next time, this is Desert Rat. Have a good one. Goodbye.